Hi children, welcome back to Max class and hope everyone is fine at home. You are enjoying all these sessions and I believe you are eagerly waiting to do your digital examination, periodic assessment 1. Hope you are all revising properly for your exams. And even in yesterday's video session, we recalled a few concepts from the chapter squares and square root. And today we are going to continue with the chapter cubes and cube roots in part 3. Okay children, this chapter is an extension of squares and square root, isn't it? That's why I thought of having it as a continued one with that chapter. Okay, it's a very simple extension. There we combine doublets. Here we will take triplets. That's the difference. Okay children, before getting into the session, let's have a thought. What is today's thought? When we put God first, all other things fall into their proper place. What does it mean? Let us submit this coronavirus in the hands of God and let Him show us the way how to be and whatever is going to happen after this. Let's put everything in the hands of God and let us live the present positively and effectively. If this is going to be today's work, let us complete that happily and successfully. Okay children? And if we submit ourselves to God, we need not worry about other things. God will take care of everything. Okay children, with this thought, let us continue today's session with a small recap. And yesterday we started with perfect cubes. Here I have given you a list of cubes. What are all the cubes here? Perfect cubes 1, 8, 27, 64, 125. So many numbers are here. Out of these, only 4 numbers are less than 100. And only 10 numbers are there less than 1000. And we do learnt about the properties of cubes. What is the first property? About unit digit. If this is an odd number, cube is also an odd number. If it is an even number, it's again an even number. Isn't it? And then what other property did we see? Depending upon the unit place, the cube unit place can also be decided by multiplying the unit place 3 times. See here in unit place I have 2. If I find the cube of 2, I get 8. That is going to be the unit place of 12 cube, 22 cube, 32 cube, 42 cube. For all the cubes that is ending with 2. Is it clear my dear children? Okay. Now what is the unit place here? 4. If I multiply 4 3 times, I get 64. There I have the unit place to be 4. So for 14 cube also the unit place will be 4. For 24 cube also the unit place will be 4. Is it clear my dear children how we decide the unit place without actually multiplying 3 times? Then what other properties did we see? Here it is. To find the difference between cubes of 2 consecutive numbers. How to find it? We learned this by seeing its pattern. Not any general formula with n, 2n, nothing like that. It's just with pattern. What is the first thing? I have to start with 1 plus. Then whatever number I have here, 20 and 19, that has to be multiplied along with the 3. Is it clear? So I got 1141. And one more example. What will be the next step? 1 plus 51 into 50 into 3. Okay children, that's how we are going to find the difference between cubes of 2 consecutive numbers. At this juncture, you should be capable of recalling how to find the difference between square of 2 consecutive numbers. Okay, and you should also know to find the number of natural numbers between squares of 2 square numbers. Consecutive square numbers. It should be consecutive. That's one more important condition. You cannot find for 51 and 71. No, I cannot use this property and I cannot use this pattern. Only for consecutive numbers I can make use of this property. Is it clear, my dear children? See here, I have 1 plus 51 into 50 into 3. So I get 1 plus 7650, which is nothing but 7651. Is it clear, my dear children? Okay, now shall we get into the... Here it is. And we know how to find the cube, whether it is a perfect cube or not. To check whether it is a perfect cube or not, what should we do? We have to do prime factorization. And what are the prime factors of 216? Look at this prime factorization and list out all the factors. I have 3 2s and 3 3s. So I can make them, I can arrange them as a triplets. 3 things together. So it is a perfect cube. Now, is 392 a perfect cube? If not, find the smallest natural number by which 392 must be multiplied. If not, okay, so that the product is a perfect cube. Hope you remember the same kind of question in the chapter squares and square root. Do you remember? Practice well based on those methods. You will have it in your periodic assessment. Okay. What is the first step I should do? I have to go in for prime factorization. Come on, take care of note and start doing the prime factorization, and you are going to tell out the factors. I am not going to do. Come on, because it's a practice for you for your exam. Do the prime factorization for 3, 9 and 2. Are you all doing? Yes, I could hear many saying no. Is it so? Hope you are trying and you will complete it and continue with this video. Okay, children? Okay. What are the factors of 392 now? Here it is. 2 into 2 into 2 into 7 into 7. Do you think it's a perfect cube? No. Why? 2 is occurring as a triplet, whereas 7 is just in pairs. It is short of one more 7 to become a triplet. I don't have one more 7, isn't it? So it's not a perfect cube. Is it a perfect square? Again, it's not a perfect square because 1, 2 is left alone without the upper. Is it clear? So, I can conclude 392 is not a perfect cube. When will it become a perfect cube? When will it become a perfect cube? Yes, if I have one extra 7, it will make a perfect cube. If I multiply here, it means I am multiplying with 392. Is it clear? So, I am multiplying 7 in the number 392 to make 392 a perfect cube. So, if I multiply by 392, 7 2s are 14, carry 1, 7 9s are 63, 64, 4, 6 carry, 7 3s are 21, 21 plus 4, 27, 2744. Is it clear? It's a perfect cube. Hence, the smallest natural number by which 392 should be multiplied to make a perfect cube is 7. The thing that I add up with that factors to make triplets is the smallest number that should be multiplied. Is it clear? Now shall we see an example how to find the number that has to be divided. Now again the question is 1188 a perfect cube? If not, by which smallest number should 1188 be divided, not multiplied? Okay, so that the quotient is a perfect cube. It's the same process. You have to find the factors using prime factorization method. I get 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 11. You have to do the prime factorization, my dear children. Okay. With that prime factorization, check whether it is a perfect cube. Is all the factors occurring in triplets? No, only 3 occurs in triplet. Here I need one more extra 2. Here I need 11 extra to be multiplied. But my objective is to find which has to be divided. What is in excess now without pairs? This 2 2's and this 11. So if I multiply all these three things, I get 44. Only if I divide this 1188 by 44, I will make that number to be a perfect cube. They didn't ask me what is the perfect cube next to 1188. From that I am not going to find it. They just asked you the smallest natural number by which it should be divided. So the answer is 44. Is it clear, my dear children? Okay. Now it's your turn and let us see the pattern in cubes. Are you ready? Here it is. Check which of the following are perfect cubes. Just by looking at it, you can be able to answer it. See here 27. This 27 is 3 into 3 into 3. That we know it. But if I have 2 zeros, is it possible to be a cube? No. Whereas it can be a square. Can be, not must be. It can be a square depending upon the number that precedes double zeros. Here only 2 tens are there. So it is not a cube. Now here I have 3 zeros. So 10 into 10 into 10. But then it's not a cube. Why? Here 16 is not a cube, perfect cube number. It's a square number but not a perfect cube number. Is it clear? Again here, look at this. 64 is also a cube number followed by 3 zeros. Surely number followed by 3 0 can be a cube because 10 into 10 into 10 is 1000. That's why we get 3 zeros. Isn't it? Now here again 900. 9 is a cube. Is it a cube? No, it's a square. This number I can state it as a perfect square number and not a cube. Okay children, you should know to differentiate between cube and square. And again I do have here 125. This is a cube number. This is also a cube. So it's a cube. Here it's not a cube. This is also not a cube. Not a cube. Here it's a cube. See here. Count the number of zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I have number of zeros in multiples of 3. What are the multiples of 3? 3, 6. 6 zeros. Then 9 zeros. Even if I have 9 zeros, it's possible to be a cube. But if it has 7 zeros and 8 zeros, can that number be a cube? No, it cannot be a cube. So, the number of zeros should be multiple of 3's. And also, the number that precedes the 0 should be a cube number. Then I can say it's a perfect cube. Is it clear, my dear children? See one more example. This is 1000. This is what? This is the basic for all the things that we can conclude with the number of zeros ending. Just by looking at the number of zeros at the end of the number, we can conclude whether it is a cube or not a cube. If it ends with 2 zeros, it cannot be a cube. 3 zeros, it can. 4, no. If it has 4 zeros, it cannot be a cube. If it has 5 zeros, it cannot be a cube. If it has 6 zeros, it will be a cube. It can be a cube depending upon the number that precedes 0. Is it clear, my dear children? Okay, let us continue with next video. Thank you.